The time is now 2:20 p.m. This is the beginning meeting unit number 4. We are back on the record. Please proceed.
Ms. Berry, before we took a break, we were talking about where or how Mr. Berry was buried. Could you tell me where he is buried?
Yes, Rolling Oaks.
I'm going to get back to that, but I wanted to follow up on the 2:53 a.m. call that came in on his cell phone that you answered but did not find suspicious. Did you show that phone call to Dornette Mullings?
I don't recall.
Do you recall showing it to her husband, Leary Mullings?
No, I don't recall. He doesn't speak to me.
And was there a ransom issued while Calvin Berry was missing?
There was something, yes.
Okay. And even after that ransom came in, I believe they wanted $7,000 in exchange for returning Calvin Berry. Is that what you recall?
I believe that's what it said, yes.
Even after learning about that ransom, you did not feel the need to tell the police about someone calling Calvin's phone at close to 3 a.m. while he was missing?
The ransom was after that call.
Right. Did you think at that point, maybe I should tell somebody at the police department about someone calling Calvin's phone at 2:53 a.m. while he was missing?
No, that did not occur to me. I was not thinking about that call.
Who notified you when Calvin was located?
It was the CSI.
Okay. Where were you located when you got that information?
In my living room.
And who was with you?
My sister, one of my daughter's friends, or two of my daughter's friends. I don't remember exactly who and who, but I know my sister was there.
Okay. Did they tell you in person that Calvin had been found, or did someone call you and tell you?
No, they told us in person. They came inside. The crime scene investigators came inside.
Do you know who originally found or spotted Calvin? I think that's a better way to say it.
I don't know exactly who and who. I don't want to speculate and then it's not correct.
Okay, so you don't remember?
No.
Until the CSI reported to you that they had found Calvin's body, did you believe that Calvin would be found alive?
I did. I did believe that they would have found him.
Where did you think he was?
Just wandering the streets. Because, yeah.
And why did you think he was just wandering the streets?
Huh?
Why did you think that he was just wandering the streets?
Because you get calls coming that somebody spotted him somewhere. And then you go over that part, and then they said they spotted him somewhere else, and then you go.
What do you believe happened to Calvin?
I cannot tell you what happened to Calvin. I don't know what happened to Calvin. I just know that Calvin is not here anymore.
Okay. I have to ask difficult questions. It's probably the least favorite part of my job. But it's not because I'm trying to make anything more difficult for you. It's just, I have to ask these questions.
3 years. Come on. 3 years. You putting me through this.
Do you believe Calvin Berry was murdered?
I don't believe that. I don't think so. The medical paper says something else.
If we need to take a break, I will. It is very important, Miss Berry, that I'm able to.
Go ahead and ask me a question. Go ahead. Just go ahead.
Okay, I want to make sure that the court reporter and I are able to hear you.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, please.
Would you describe Calvin's death as suspicious?
No.
Would you describe Calvin's death as odd?
I don't know what to describe it as. I just know he's gone. He's not here.
Describe his death as unordinary.
On a what?
Would you describe his death as unordinary?
An ordinary?
Right, not ordinary. Unordinary.
They say he accidentally dropped. So I don't know what you call it. I don't know what you call that. Please hurry.
I think we should probably take a break. It's really important for you to understand your response.
No, just go ahead. Just go ahead. I can't take it anymore. Just go ahead and ask the questions.
Did you kill Calvin Berry, ma'am?
I'm sorry.
Did you kill Calvin Berry?
If I tell him?
Did you kill Calvin Berry?
No, I did not kill Calvin Berry.
Did you have a role in the disappearance of Calvin Berry?
No, I did not have any role in anything.
Did you administer any medication to Calvin Berry in the month of March of 2021?
No time at all did I do that. No, ma'am.
Do you know who killed Calvin Berry?
Nobody killed Calvin Berry. No, ma'am.
Do you know whether Carrie Ann played a role in his disappearance?
You did what?
Do you know if Carrie Ann played a role in Calvin Berry's disappearance?
No, she did not.
Do you know if Christine played a role in Calvin Berry's disappearance?
No, she did not.
You also don't know where she actually was on the evening of March 10th, 2021, right?
She was at her home.
You know that?
I would imagine they're getting her stuff. So no, she did not do anything to her father. She would never do the thing. And why would anybody do something on my children's birthday? Why?
You know,
This is horrible people.
ma'am, I'm only here today because you chose to file a lawsuit against Dornette Mullings.
Yes, because
Sitting here asking,
Wait, hold on. You're both speaking at once, please.
so I have to ask you questions in order to defend Mrs. Mullings. I understand you may not want to answer them, or you may think it's unfair, but it's part of the process when you sue somebody. You also said you don't believe Carrie Ann played any role in the disappearance of Calvin Berry, but you're not certain where she was on March 10th, 2021, based on your prior testimony. Is that right?
Right.
Did you conspire with anyone to kill Calvin Berry?
No, I did not.
And did you read the medical examiner's report related to Calvin Berry?
I did not read the medical report. No, ma'am.
You mentioned that they said it was an accidental drowning. Who is they?
On the medical death certificate, whoever those people who are that did their report, because they said it were it says it was waiting on toxicology. So I would think that one person did did one test, the next person did another test, and then they put everything on the death certificate. So that's what I'm going by when I say they.
And did you understand the cause of death noted by the medical examiner was drowning complicated by the use of diphenhydramine?
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand that, or do you know that diphenhydramine is associated with Benadryl?
And I believe it's also in cough syrup.
Okay, so thank you for that. Clear. Do you understand that diphenhydramine is associated with Benadryl?
You asked that already.
Yes, ma'am, but you didn't answer my question. You said it's associated with cough medicine or cough syrup. I'm asking you about Benadryl, the thing you mentioned during your 911 call. Do you understand that diphenhydramine is associated with Benadryl? Yes.
Yes, I did say yes, and it's also in the other medicine, but yes, they did advise me of that.
Were you concerned by that finding?
No. It's just the fact that they say he accidentally drowned. So I'm not aware of anything else.
You haven't heard that when he was found, there was no water in his lungs?
No, ma'am.
And you had no idea that when he was found, he was floating face up?
I heard that he was face up.
Have you done anything to try to find out how much diphenhydramine he had in his system?
No, I did not ask any question about that, but Miss Mullings published something about that. So I don't know.
You never cared to find out?
Not that you never care, but I have so much stuff on my head going through with all these. No, I didn't try to find out anything on that.
Okay. Dornette Mullings and her husband came to your home on March 14th, 2021, right? That would be one day after Calvin's body was found.
Not one day, a couple hours. Yes, ma'am.
You said a couple hours after they were there?
They came on Sunday. Yes.
Okay.
They came on the Sunday. Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to show you what I would like to have marked as Exhibit 8 to your deposition. It is your response to requests for admissions issued in this lawsuit. So I'm going to go to number 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you admitted that Dornette Mullings arrived at your home on March 14th, 2021, along with her husband and her son. Do you have any reason to dispute that now?
I said they come on the Sunday.
Okay, and then you also admitted, let me see, let's look at number 9, I think it is. On March 14th, 2021, Michael Berry, Rosa Berry, Carrie Ann Berry, and Christine Berry, along with you, were present at your home when Dornette Mullings arrived at your home on March 14th. Do you have any
Yes.
reason to dispute that?
Yes, she waited. Yes, she did come to my home on March 14th.
Okay. And at that time, did Dornette offer to help you with paying bills?
No, she just asked if I had enough money for the mortgage.
Okay. Did you answer her?
Yes, I even showed her the bank book.
So do you think she was asking just to be nosy or because she was trying to find out if she could help?
I could not tell you what she wanted at that time.
Okay. So I'm showing you a text. It's a chat among Michael Berry, Christine Berry, and Carrie Ann Berry. This is on March 15, 2021. You'll see Michael Berry says, "You'll need to make sure Tia has whatever bills taken care of for at least this month, especially the mortgage. I know that might not have been comfortable for her to answer in front of Dornette." Michael Berry then says, "Just check and make sure and let me know." And Christine says, "Okay, I'll check. She said this month was taken care of, but I'll ask again tomorrow."
Okay.
So did you get a sense that Michael Berry did you feel that Michael Berry was also concerned about making sure you could pay bills in light of this sudden death of Calvin?
I think he was trying to work with Donnet for something because I heard that, yes, I feel he was just working with her for whatever agenda she might have had.
So you just thought him asking about making sure you were good was not coming from a place of actually trying to make sure you were good?
I wouldn't think so, no.
And does this correspondence here jog your memory about perhaps Dornette saying, "I'm willing to help"?
No, all she asked about is the mortgage, and I showed her the bank book.
You told investigators at some point that Dornette, when she was there with her husband, and you and Carrie Ann and Christine and Michael,
And Rosa.
I'm sorry?
And Rosa.
Rosa, that
Michael's wife.
that Dornette got upset. Why'd she get upset?
I know she had asked why we're paying so much for our health insurance. And I don't know, it looked like she was looking for something in those documents. I'm not sure what she was looking for, but it looked like she didn't see what she wanted because she just abruptly said, tell Rosa to call the insurance company then that we found and see who's the beneficiary.
Okay. Do you recall telling the police that Dornette Mullings was upset because she didn't see her name listed as a beneficiary on the life insurance documents?
It seems that way. Yes. That's why I say it looks like what she was looking for, she didn't see. Because she abruptly ended whatever she was doing until Rosa took call.
But at that time, you didn't actually know who the beneficiaries were on Calvin Berry's life insurance policies, right?
At that time, I didn't even know Calvin had those life insurance. She's the one who found them and let us know that he has those insurance. So I didn't know anything about any life insurance.
Would you be surprised if your daughter said that, and I can't remember which one right now, I apologize, said that they went and looked for the policies and found information as to the policies, not Dornette?
No, Barnett have them looking through the paperwork. And while they're looking through the paperwork, they found all these different envelopes that had different information. And she goes, write this one down. And Rosa, you call them. And write this one down. Rosa, you call them. And then my daughter somehow took that information from Rosa and then they called the insurance company. This didn't happen before Donnet. It was after Donnet came into the house. So
Right.
she is the one who found all the information along with all of the kids that were there, Rosa, Michael, Kerry, and Christine. She had Rosa write them down and tell Rosa to call, but Carrie took over from it, and then Carrie called. So if Donnet did not come into the house, that those information would not have been found at that time. Nobody knew anything beforehand. All this time. And when she said follow the money, we believe her, follow the money. All this thing happened because her name is not on any of his insurance. So everything ended up back at her. If she didn't do what she did, we wouldn't know that he had that life insurance for us to know anything about it. Because everything for him and for just thrown like that in the drawers and in his little nightstand. We don't search each other mail. We don't search each other phone. So we if she hadn't come and said all of this, nobody would know of any life insurance. I do thank her for all her investigation that she did, because she did let us know some things that we did not know, even though we did not need to know, but she did because of her investigation. We have to relive this every day.
So you mentioned no one had any clue about what Calvin had in terms of life insurance, or what he was leaving behind, basically.
Exactly. Nobody knew.
That was only because Dornette threw up her hands and said, I need to know what money's left over. It was all Dornette.
She did not say, I want to know what whatever you call that, just said a while ago. She did not come in and say that. She came in and said, bring me all of his paperwork.
Right, which is, I mean, frankly, standard, right? After someone passes away and people are concerned about being able to pay bills, paying for the funeral. And let me just, is that standard, or you think that's abnormal?
That's abnormal.
But a 3 a.m. call when your husband's missing, that's totally normal.
Exactly.
Objection.
So what I'd like to understand, you just mentioned nobody knew anything, it's only because of Dornette, but we do know that Carrie Ann knew about his thrift savings plan, right?
But not what's in there, because he asked her to help him fill out the form.
Okay, so that's right.
And there is the fact that whenever he do any withdrawal, you just sign the paperwork for him.
Who signs the paperwork for him?
Me, because it has to be his spouse sign his paperwork. So he signs and I sign.
Okay, so not only Carrie Ann knew that he had over $600,000 in the thrift savings plan, you also knew because he had recently done a withdrawal from that account.
When you fill out that paperwork, you don't see. I don't believe it shows how much is in your account. It just shows that you want to make a withdrawal.
Okay, but Carrie Ann was able to log into his account because she helped him.
He gave her the information to do that. And once you log in, then he does his whatever he does. But you were talking about his life insurance. Nobody knew about that.
You mentioned Carrie Ann called the life insurance company, but it was actually Christine that lied to the life insurance company and said it was Carrie Ann, but it wasn't, right?
Objection, form,
You can answer.
mischaracterization.
You can answer. You said Carrie Ann called, but it was actually Christine who used Carrie Ann's name, right?
And did she get any information on there?
Ma'am, I need you to answer my questions or this process falls apart pretty quickly and I have to get help from the court. My question is, because you went on for quite a while and I didn't want to interrupt you about how this is all Dornet, nobody else knew, nobody else cared, just Dornet. And I just want to clarify, you definitely knew about the thrift savings plan. We clarified that. And two, your daughter, Carrie Ann, did not call the life insurance company. Christine called and told a lie to them and said it was Carrie Ann.
Objection. Are you asking her a question, counsel?
Yes,
Ask
that
her
is
the
a question.
Objection to the form of your question, counsel.
I'm just trying to get her to answer the question I've asked previously. She's asking me a question in response, which makes it very difficult. It was not Carrie Ann who called the life insurance company. It was Christine who used Carrie Ann's name. Is that right?
I am not aware of that. At the time, no, I'm not aware of that.
Was Calvin Berry concerned about finances in March 2021?
In March, I don't know if he was concerned about finance in all of that. He just said he wanted to pay off the Lexus.
Okay. Was he stressed about Carrie Ann leaving the family home because he would no longer get that $400 a month?
He did not
Objection
mention
calls for
any.
speculation.
Oh, sorry.
You can answer the question. Did Calvin Berry express to you that he was concerned about the lack of $400 a month from Carrie Ann after she moved out?
No, he did not express anything to me on that note.
Were you concerned about your finances in March of 2021?
No, I was not.
And you told the police that Calvin was worried about having money to go to Jamaica if his father passed away. Do you recall telling them that?
Yes.
But Calvin didn't know that his father passed away, right?
No, he did not.
And did he, to your knowledge, did he know that his father was sick?
Everybody knew.
Okay. Everybody knew Calvin's father was sick. How did everybody know that? And
I'm
who
going
is
to
that?
object on relevant issue.
Who is
Go ahead,
that?
answer.
You can answer the question. How did everybody know that Calvin's father was sick?
Because Calvin told us his father was blind. His father was in an nursing home. I think that's what they call it in Jamaica too.
Okay.
So of course he was declining in health.
So it was your understanding, Calvin conveyed to you verbally, he said, I'm worried that when my dad passes away, I won't have the money to go see him or to go to his funeral.
Right.
Okay. Did he express that concern in 2021?
No.
And you mentioned, I want to make sure, I think you said this, Calvin did a withdrawal in order to pay off the Lexus?
The Lexus, yes.
Do you know when he paid off the Lexus?
What? As soon as he got the money from the trip.
Would that be within a month of him passing away?
I would have to go see if I can get that information. I couldn't tell you.
And so you had no idea that Calvin had any life insurance policies before he went missing?
No, I'm not aware of him having any life insurance to that effect. I know that he had Globe Life, because he got it well, not Donnie. He got it for Michael, Carrie Ann, Christine, myself, Karen, and himself.
When you say he got it for example, you, do you mean that he got a policy for you in the event you pass away?
Exactly. Just a small one like that.
Okay, so you were aware of Globe Life. Ultimately, did you learn how many life insurance policies Calvin had?
After he passed, after they looked through all of his paperwork, then yes.
Do you know how many he had?
It was either 4 or 5.
Did you find that unusual that he had multiple policies?
Objection.
An answer.
I don't know how much policy people have, but I don't know if it's normal or abnormal, but he had them. I don't know if it's normal or not.
I'm going to show you what I would like to have marked as Exhibit 10 to your deposition.
Okay.
Give me a second. I'm going to stop sharing. Sorry. I want to fix this. Okay, I'm showing you Exhibit 10 again. It's a proof of death claimant statement. And it's referencing Occidental Life Insurance Company. Do you recall if that's one of the life insurance policies that Calvin had?
Yes.
Okay. Is this your handwriting where it says deceased? No. I'm sorry, you said no?
No, just the signature is mine.
Okay. Do you know whose handwriting appears in the top portion?
Yeah, that's Carrie Ann filled it out for me.
Okay. And when you say that's your signature, that's next to claimant signature and below claimant signature?
Yes, those are my signature.
Okay. And do you see that you signed this document on April 30th, 2021?
Yes.
And do you know who witnessed the document? Can you tell by looking at the signature?
It might be, I don't know how his signature look, but the first part, it could be my brother.
Okay. And at the top, next to date of death, it says March 13th, 2021. And
Yes.
And cause of death next to that, it says accident. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. My question is, how did you know as of April 30th that it was an accident that caused Calvin to pass away as of March 13th, 2021?
I'd have to go and check when the death certificate was issued.
Okay, well, I have that. Let me go.
Okay.
Here's the death certificate. You see, this shouldn't be here. I'll take that off. The date issued is April 26, 2021. So it's a few days before you fill out this proof of death form on April 30th. Would you agree?
Okay.
And do you see here where it says cause of death pending?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so at that point, it was not it wasn't listed as an accidental death, right? So that's why I'm asking you, how did you know it was an accident as of April 30th?
That I do not know because of that accident. What happened to the other one that's an accidental death certificate?
Okay, so there is a second one, but it's well, and I'm going to show it to you. It's well
Uh-huh.
after April 30th, though. And that second one says state issued June 22nd, 2021.
Okay.
Another certification of death. And you'll see here, it says drowning complicated by diphenhydramine use. First of all, do you interpret drowning complicated by diphenhydramine use as an accident?
Objection asked and answered.
You can answer.
Yeah, I did say I did not know.
I'm sorry?
I did say I did not know before.
Right. My question is, do you interpret drowning complicated by diphenhydramine use as an accident?
That's what the death certificate says. So I do not know how to interpret it other than what they say.
Where on the death certificate does it say accident?
Manner of death.
But this was issued in June of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my question. It didn't say that in April of 2021. How did you know it was an accident if the medical examiners or whoever issues the certification of death had not said it was an accident until multiple months later?
I do not know. Hello?
I'm here. I'm going to show you what's marked as Exhibit 11 to your deposition.
Mm-hmm.
It is durable power of attorney.
Yes.
Is that your signature at the bottom of the first page of the durable power of attorney?
Yes.
And to be specific, it's above the line that says principal's signature.
Yes.
And you signed this document on April 5th, 2021?
Yes. I believe so.
Okay. Do you have any reason to dispute that date next to your name of April 5th, 2021?
No, I don't have any reason to. I just don't remember what date it was.
Okay. Calvin's service in Miami was on April 3rd, 2021, right?
I don't think so.
When do you think it was?
I don't have a calendar. It was a Saturday, the first Saturday in April. So if it said the third, then okay.
I will represent you the first Saturday in April in 2021 fell on April 3rd.
Okay. I just know it's the first Saturday.
Okay. So you mentioned Sheila J. Campbell as your sister, right?
That is correct.
Was the purpose of this power of attorney to give Sheila Campbell a power of attorney over you, Althea Berry?
Yes. Above all transactions that have to do with me, because yes, it was a power of attorney for that.
Okay. Why did you appoint Sheila Campbell as your power of attorney?
With all that was going on, I thought I was going to be killed. All these people calling me names, calling me Black Widow, I didn't even know that there was something going on until when we were at the graveside, putting in my husband in the mausoleum, and all these things. Michael moved out. He left the house. No explanation as to why. All these secret meetings. People who didn't even want to bury Calvin just want to push him in the wall, and whoever want to show up, show up. People just show up at my house with no invitation, no nothing. I just come home from the mausoleum and see all these people in the house, cutting down his fruit. I thought I was in fear. I told my sister I need something in place anything happens to me. I'm at work. I have to have WhatsApp on so my sister can watch just to make sure nothing happened to me. My daughter can't leave her house unless I come with her. So of course I needed somebody to help me. My brain wasn't working as how it's supposed to because I'm in fear walking down the street, don't know who's going to attack me. So I thought you could get somebody to be your power of attorney. I didn't know that it was a big deal for this to happen.
And it wasn't because of Dornette Mullings that she got this power of attorney done, right?
It's because of the situation that was there, not just because of her. But I have it's like you feel an impending doom on your life in this situation. You don't know who is for you, who is going to be coming to strike you. Once again, I don't know what's happening, what's going to happen to me.
Was a source of your concern the fact that your husband disappeared and was found dead a few days later? Or that had nothing to do with it?
Nothing to do with the power of attorney.
Okay. And so it sounds like multiple people were accusing you of wrongdoing, not just Mrs. Mullings.
Just on her website, not nobody coming out and saying like how she came out and saying it like that. It's just on her website where people are agreeing with her on different things that she's saying, calling me names.
Okay, so we established that document, the power of attorney, was signed on April 5th, 2021. I'm going to show you what I would like to have marked as Exhibit 15 to your deposition. It is the complaint that you had filed against Dornette Mullings, filed on December 20th, 2022. Have you seen this document before?
I believe I did, yes. Yes.
Okay. And you did authorize the filing of a lawsuit against Dornette Mullings for defamation, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I will tell you, based on my review of this document, the complaint, the earliest I see any statement by Dornette Mullings is May 6, 2021. That's based on the allegations in your complaint. So it was a month after you had the power of attorney signed. Would you agree?
No, you got to go back.
I'm just looking. So this you outlined when Calvin's body was found. You say that Dornette Mullings created a website. You don't put a date there, but then you go on to say July 30th, March 4th, 2022. This statement is made April 17th of 2022. May 6th.
Go back up one moment for me, please. Hello?
I'm here. How far up would you like me to go? And your video went off.
Go back just a little bit. Let me see something.
I'm at at the very top. Your video is off. Could you turn it back on?
Video. How do you do that? Touch. Is it on?
It's on now, yes. I'm at the very top of the complaint. Where would you like me to go?
When you make go up. It was just before. I'll tell you when. On March. Stop right there. Stop right there. Okay, go down now, please. Okay. Okay, one more time for me. Okay, right there. Stop there. No. Okay. On March 4th, the defendant published the following statement on the website. Okay, so on March 4th, 2022. Okay, April 17th. Yes, so the fact of the what do you call it, power of attorney, I did advise that I felt like, my life was being threatened and everything. So with them swapping down on my house, with the screaming that they were doing at the grave, and even when they went to the service in Port St. Lucie, they went up and read scripture passages. They were in the church telling people about how they're not going to be able to get any more fruits. Not that they miss Calvin or anything like that. They're not going to be able to get any fruits. How the houses, they have their husbands searching the internet and found out the houses for sale. They were just carrying on in those places. So of course, it make you feel like you're boxed in, like something is about to happen to you. And then Miss Mullins start to publish her different findings and whatever she start doing. But everything started. It was. I don't want to pinpoint a date itself, but when we were planning on having the function for him to go in the mausoleum, when we were having that function, we were all on a video call. And then they make the suggestion just to go ahead and just put him in the mausoleum, and whoever can show up. That's when I came off the call. And then when we went to the mausoleum, that's when I know something was wrong with everything that's going on.
Okay, I just want to make clear, though, that your decision to execute the power of attorney on April 5th, 2021 could not possibly have anything to do with the statements set forth in your complaint, because the earliest statement outlined in your complaint by Dornette Mullins was stated May 6th, 2021.
She did make other different statement even at the funeral, not the funeral home, the services.
Okay, but that's not what you sued her for, right?
It's defamation.
Okay, so you executed, and I apologize to everyone. Is it possible for us to take a 5-minute break?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And Mr. Ortega, are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine, counsel.
Thank you.
The time is now 3:10 p.m. We are about to go off the record. Please stand by. The time is now 3:17 p.m. We are back on the record. Please proceed.
Ms. Berry, we're talking about why you gave Ms. Sheila Campbell, your sister, a power of attorney on April 5th, 2021. Is that power of attorney still effective?
I believe it is. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay. And you mentioned that you felt like you would be harmed. Did anyone threaten physical violence against you?
They're not physical in that sense, but there was a picture of a corpse, a burnt up corpse that was sent to me and my two daughters. And they say, guess who?
And was that Dornette Mullins that sent you that photo?
It came from her cousin.
Okay. So Calvin Berry's cousin sent you that picture?
Yes, Donette's cousin. Yes, ma'am.
And to be clear, Dornette's cousin is also Calvin Berry's cousin?
I believe so.
Okay. Even though you executed this power of attorney in favor of Sheila Campbell, you ultimately did go back to work, right?
I went back. Yes, I did go back to work on April 10th. I believe it's April 10th, but then I ended up retiring.
And did you execute the power of attorney because you were afraid of being able to make decisions for yourself?
Decisions and yes.
Okay. But you did make the decision to sell the marital home, the family home, excuse me.
Yes, I did make that decision. I did because Calvin also wanted to sell that house and Rosa wanted to buy it. That was my understanding.
You had mentioned something about Michael Berry moved out. Was Michael Berry living with you?
He was staying with us during the time we were looking for Calvin and when he was found.
Okay.
And then after Donnet came to the house, next thing we know, he didn't say anything to us. They were going to have like a little parade in Stewart for Calvin. And all of a sudden, Michael packed up his family and decided to go to Stewart to stay there because the rest of them, whoever they were from that side of the family, were meeting in Stewart.
Okay.
And he didn't say anything to us. He just go ahead and decides that he's moving. He left us. And we noticed they were getting more distant from us, pulling away from us. And things did not seem right. What's this?
I'm showing you the warranty deed for the family home, which is dated May 6th of 2021. Would you please verify that that's your signature above Althea Berry?
That is my signature, yes, ma'am.
And did you feel like you were in your right frame of mind to be able to execute the warranty deed for the family home on May 6, 2021, such that you didn't need Sheila Campbell to sign for you?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know his address is 1909 34th Street, Williston, North Dakota?
They had it in the wrong spot.
So this address is wrong? Because to be clear, I'm looking at
There should be a new one. Because they sent me a new one.
So the Exhibit 12, which is the warranty deed for the family home, says Althea Berry, an unmarried widower whose post office address is 1909 34th Street West. That 1909 address is incorrect. Is that right?
Right, that is for the buyer.
Okay. And then what about this 7337 Willow Springs address? Is that supposed to be an address associated with you?
No.
Okay.
They had sent me a new one because I asked them why the address was incorrect on the paper.
Where were you when you signed the durable power of attorney? Was it at a lawyer's office? Do you recall?
No, it was not a lawyer's office.
Okay, where were you?
I don't remember where I was at that time.
Okay, I'm going to share it with you again. This is the power of attorney marked as Exhibit 11 to your deposition. I'm going to scroll down.
Mm-hmm.
It gives Sheila Campbell a number of basically powers as your power of attorney, including to handle and manage any form of bank accounts that are in your name. Do you see that?
Yes.
Does Sheila Campbell have currently handle and manage any of your bank accounts?
Just one of them. She does recommend stuff to me.
Okay. And that's not the only powers. I'll defer to Exhibit 11 because it lists several powers that she has, including disposing of assets and purchasing insurance and things along those lines, but I won't read through all of them. It is witnessed by two people. The first one is Larry Hicks, and the second one is Daryl Branton. Do you know who those witnesses are?
I don't know. Look like some principals.
I'm sorry, you said principals?
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, I want to understand, they're listed as witnesses. I want to know if you know who Larry Hicks is. Is he a friend? Is he a family member? Is he a
No,
neighbor?
he's not. They're not family members. No.
Okay. Do you know who Daryl Branton is?
He's not a family member.
Could he be a friend?
No, not a friend.
Okay. Do you know how you all found these two witnesses?
Sheila did.
Sheila, okay. Do you know how much money you got from Calvin's life insurance?
I don't know the exact figure. I believe that was turned over to you. I don't know the exact figure.
Okay, would you defer to just whatever the documents say in terms of his insurance policies?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any sense of whether it was over or under $1 million?
I don't know.
Okay. And do you know how much money you got from Calvin's thrift savings plan?
I don't know the exact amount at this moment.
Okay. Do you have a general sense of how much money you got from the thrift savings plans and life insurance policy?
I don't know at this time.
You have no idea if it was $1 or closer to $1 million.
I don't know at this time.
Okay, I think I have something that could help you. So I'm going to show you Exhibit 13 to your deposition. We established that you sold the family home on or about May 6, 2021, and I'm just going to show you the settlement statement that is from that closing. I'll zoom in. You see it lists the property address as 1942 Southeast Fallon Drive.
Mm-hmm.
And This is the seller. Do you see that?
There should be a different paperwork for you. Does that look like the old one?
Okay. That's fine. Do you see that it says that it pertains to 1942 Southeast Fallon Drive and that you, Althea Berry, are listed as a seller?
Yes, with an incorrect address. Yes, ma'am.
And I'm going to scroll down. Just so you're clear, this is the seller side. On the left-hand side, there's a debit and a credit. And do you see ultimately that you have due to seller $116,099.86?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any reason to dispute that you received that sum of money in connection with the sale of the family home?
I believe that is correct.
Okay. And then you signed above on the last page of the settlement statement, you signed above the line that says Althea Berry?
Yes.
Okay. You gave some of the money that you got upon Calvin's passing to your daughters, right?
Yes, over time.
Okay, but you didn't directly give it to them. You had Sheila transfer that money to them, right?
Yes, she did that.
Okay, why did you route the money through Sheila?
I just asked her to make the deposits for me.
Okay, other than making deposits of money into your daughter Christine and Carrie Ann's bank accounts, has Sheila used the power of attorney in any other way?
Like?
I'm asking, I don't know. I do know based on the records I reviewed that she sent money to your daughters.
Okay.
I do know that, however, you felt comfortable executing the settlement statement and the warranty deed on the family home in May of 2021. So I'm just trying to figure out, other than sending money to your daughters, has she exercised the power of attorney on your behalf?
I know. Okay. If somebody asks me for money, then yeah, she will go ahead and do it for me.
Okay, and so
She will go ahead and advise me of different things.
and what does Sheila do for a living? Sheila Campbell.
She works at a school. She's like the secretary.
Would Sheila Campbell be the best person to speak to about how much money you received from Calvin's life insurance policies and thrift savings plan?
If the court says so, yeah.
No, well, I'm not asking about the court. I guess I'm just, because I'm asking, I would expect it to be you, but you're not sure if you got $1 or $1 million or anything in between. So I'm asking, would Sheila have a better sense of that since you appointed her as your power of attorney and she's the one transferring money to your daughters?
She could, yeah, she could be a source of you were asking her.
And are you aware that since the passing of Calvin Berry, you've transferred indirectly through Sheila Campbell over $100,000 to your daughters?
100,000?
Over 100,000.
To my daughters.
Correct.
That I'm not aware of. No.
Okay. Would you be surprised to find out Sheila has transferred over $100,000 to your daughters since Calvin has passed away?
Oh, I do not know.
Have you directed Sheila Campbell to give any money to Michael Berry?
No, Michael Berry had his own money coming to him from Calvin.
Okay.
There was nothing set up for my daughters.
How much went to Michael Berry?
That I do not know.
And has Michael Berry ever asked you for money?
Nobody asks me for money. I just give money like that. My daughter has not asked me for money.
Would you be surprised that one of your daughters said that she has to beg you for money?
Yes, that would be surprising for me.
I want to be careful how I say this, and it's not intended in any type of way. What I'm trying to get from you is that ultimately, well, you're in a better financial position today than you were before Calvin Berry passed away. Is that right?
You're asking me if I have money now because Calvin passed away.
That's one way of putting it. What I'm trying to verify is that you are in a better financial position now than before Calvin Berry passed away.
Yes.
Okay. For example, the home that you're in right now at Broadview, does it have a mortgage on it?
No, it does not.
And you mentioned you no longer work. You retired in approximately January of 2022. Is that right?
I want to say if it's not 22, then it's 23. But I want to say 22. I'm not sure.
Was it time for you to retire, or was that considered an early retirement?
At that time, yes, it will be the time for me to retire.
How much money do you want to recover from Dornette Mullings in this lawsuit?
I have a figure at this time.
Okay. Do you have a sense of how much money you lost as a result of any of the statements that Dornette has made?
I don't know at this time.
And you didn't lose your job because of any of the statements outlined in the complaint marked as Exhibit 15 to your deposition, right?
Indirectly, yes.
How indirectly? You just said it was time for you to retire and you retired. So
Due to the mental state, it was time for me to retire.
And that's not solely to do with Dornette's statements, is it?
Majority.
How much of it is the loss of your husband, the disappearance and loss of your husband from drowning complicated by diphenhydramine use?
With my husband's accidental death, I would say it has a lot to do with it as well. I don't have a percentage, but the ongoing torture is 100% for her.
Okay, but nobody fired you because they read these statements by Dornette Mullings.
Nobody fired me.
And Dornette isn't the only person who's accused you of wrongdoing, right?
Her website, her minions, yes. They haven't come out and write their own thing, just write under her what she has. I haven't seen anybody really following her no more because I guess
And even as of this year, the police were still questioning you, right?
they questioned me one time.
This one time this year.
Correct.
Okay, multiple times.
No time last year.
Do you know how many times you've been interviewed by the police about the death of your husband?
3 times. One, I went to them on my own, and the other one, they did that. And then this one that just came this year.
And you mentioned in an April 2022 interview with Detective Myers, April 2021 interview with Detective Myers, that there was a state trooper accusing you of wrongdoing as well. Do you recall that?
That's the person.
Okay.
That's the one that sent the dead body, the burnt up body.
Okay, so I just want to establish here, if this is your understanding as well. Your mental state after the death of Calvin Berry was impacted, one, by the death of your husband, two, by people other than Dornette Mullings accusing you of wrongdoing.
Her cousin. Yes, ma'am.
Was it only her cousin, or were there other people?
Her cousin. The other people, they were just like piggybacking off of her, whatever statement she made. There's one of her friend, Francine, I believe Taylor. She was one of her main person that was helping her. And then I believe the other cousin was Merle Lamont.
And can you tell me what injuries you've sustained as a result of the statements outlined in your complaint, marked as Exhibit 15 to your deposition?
The least little sound I hear, I believe somebody's trying to break in my home. I'm a nervous wreck most of the time. The sleeping is like sporadic. I don't know how else to describe it. You might get a good night's sleep one night, and the next night you're up. You know, you just don't. You believe people are talking about you. It's like sometimes you're just shaking, like I don't know. But it's not a good feeling. You don't want to go out. You want to stay indoors most of the time. Your grandkids them have to beg you to come out with them. You go to the grocery store. You're looking like people are looking at you. You're trying so hard to hold your head up, but you just feel that there in a minute now there's this unknowing feeling.
You haven't left Port St. Lucie, right?
I went to Miami.
But you bought a house in Port St. Lucie, right?
Yes.
So it wasn't so bad where you felt like you needed to move and say be closer to your family in Miami.
At the time, we don't know what we're going to do next. If we're going to go ahead and sell the house and move there. Right now, I haven't thought about it fully, but no, I'm still in Port St. Lucie. I'm on the other side of where we used to live. It's, you try not to drive down that part because it brings back, flash memory. Yes. So.
You try not to drive down where the family home is located?
Yes, because we drive on the other streets to go where we need to go. We drive different ways.
Okay.
You're in the store and you see an item that you used to buy for Calvin, you just break down like that crying. It's not good to lose somebody that you've been with for so long, and then now you have to be living with it over and over. You can't even mourn the loss because here is somebody going to write things about you, going to the podcast, going to do YouTube video. How much more can one person bear? I have never talked about them. I just say, you know what? Just pray. This is going to end. This is going to end.
Is it your preference if Dornette Mullings just dropped all of this relating to the death of Calvin Berry?
If she dropped, stop mentioning my name and trying to discredit my life, trying to put me in prison for something I did not do. How would she feel if somebody tried to do that to her when she's innocent of something?
Do you think Dornette has a right to try to find out what happened to her brother?
She have a right to find out what happened to him if something happened to him, but she doesn't have a right to be chastising somebody and trying to put them in a mental institution. She don't have that right to do that. You can just go around and spew off any information you want to spew off about somebody and don't bear no consequence to that.
And as a result, you filed this lawsuit against Dornette Mullings for defamation, right?
Yes, because she's destroying me.
And that's because you claim that Dornette's statements implying that you killed your husband are false.
They are false.
And
They are false.
And it's because you claim that Dornette's statements that you were motivated to do harm to your husband for financial gain, you believe that also to be false.
That is false.
Okay. I'm going to show you Exhibit 14 to your deposition.
Mm-hmm.
It is your response to the second request for production that we issued in this lawsuit. The response was filed on April 23rd, 2024 by your counsel. And you have asserted in response to virtually all of these requests, your Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. Do you see that?
No, I don't see number 14 yet.
So this is Exhibit 14. Do you see where it says defendant's second request for production to plaintiff?
Repeat that for me.
Do you see where it says defendant's second request for production to plaintiff?
Yes.
Camila Ortega is your lawyer, correct?
Correct.
Okay. These are your responses to Dornette Mullings' request that she provide certain documents in connection with this lawsuit.
Yes.
Example, request number 1 asks for documents and communications concerning medications for Calvin Berry, including diphenhydramine. In response, I won't read the whole thing, but your lawyer has written that you assert your Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. Can you tell me what documents and communications about Calvin's what documents and communications concerning diphenhydramine and Calvin could lead to self-incrimination for you?
I'm going to object to this line of questioning and advise my client not to answer.
And so I'm going to move on to number 3. You've asserted your Fifth Amendment privilege in response to documents and communications exchanged with Calvin Berry regarding the sale of the residence. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. You have made that assertion also when Mrs. Mullings has asked for documents and communications exchanged with regarding Sharon Brown. Do you see that?
Go.
It's request number 6.
Right. It said none in the plaintiff's care, custody, or control.
And then do you see the next line asserts your Fifth Amendment privilege?
Yes, I do assert it because I have nothing.
Okay. And then in response to document request number 7, which is for communications exchanged with anyone regarding Sharon Brown, you've again asserted your Fifth Amendment privilege. Do you see that?
Yes.
In response to documents and communications regarding your purchases from any pharmacy between February 1st of 2021 and March 14th, 2021, you've raised your Fifth Amendment privilege. Do you see that?
Yes.
You've also raised it when we've asked for communications with any pharmacy between that same time period. Do you see that?
So you asked it twice?
It's slightly different. Number 11, is regarding any purchases. And number 12 is any documents or communications you've exchanged with the pharmacy. Both of which you said you invoke your Fifth Amendment privilege. Do you see that?
Yes.
When we ask for documents and communications regarding any payments made by you to or for the benefit of Karen Berry, Carrie Ann Berry, or Christine Berry between March of 2021 and December 31st of 2021, you've again raised your Fifth Amendment privilege. Is that right?
Yes, it says that.
With respect to request number 16, we've asked for documents and communications exchanged with anyone regarding any financial distress before March 14th, 2021. You've objected based on your Fifth Amendment privilege as well for that. You see that?
Yes.
And frankly, the objection is raised, I think, in response to almost all of these, maybe with the exception of two. We've asked you for documents and communications regarding diphenhydramine and or Benadryl. You have invoked in response your Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. Do you see that?
Yes.
I've asked for documents and communications exchanged with Carrie Ann or Christine Berry regarding Dornette Mullings. In response, you have asserted your Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. Is that right?
Yes.
I've asked for any documents and communications exchanged with Carrie Ann Berry or Christine Berry regarding any of the allegations contained in the complaint in this lawsuit or the answer in this lawsuit. And you've again asserted your Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. Do you see that?
Yes.
My question to you is, do you think it's fair to Mrs. Mullings for you to be able to accuse her of making false statements if you're unwilling to provide documents relating to whether or not you played any type of role in your husband's death?
Objection.
You can answer.
No, it's not unfair.
Okay, so we should just take your word for it, but you don't have to produce any documents to verify any of these things?
Objection. Asked and answered.
You can answer even though he objected. Are we just supposed to take your word for it, ma'am, as opposed to getting the documents?
Can she get her own documents?
Well, for example, communications with your daughters, you've withheld that from us. And
No, but I do apologize. But you did ask my daughters for theirs. Wouldn't it be the same thing?
well, I did get documents from your lawyer on behalf of Christine and Carrie Ann after midnight, so today before your deposition. And quite frankly, many of those pages are not legible. I'm happy to show them to you, especially the time period that's most critical in this case. In fact, I will show them to you. I think that's an excellent point that you've raised. I apologize that it's not already dialed up because, like I said, I got it after midnight. 1 second. Okay, by way of example, because I have not had the opportunity to analyze all of this in advance of your deposition, I am showing you what I'll have marked as Exhibit 16 to your deposition, which are documents produced by Christine Berry on April 26, 2024. You'll see that it gets really hard to read these documents. So it's just, I can't even make some of these out. So yeah, they did produce stuff, but it's still not very helpful. And it's unfortunate because we do want to get to the truth of the matter in order to defend Mrs. Mullings against the claims you've raised. So I think, oh, actually I have something else. Let me, it's a video. I will mark it as an exhibit. I'm not sure how. I'll put it in the Dropbox. Give me a moment to pull it up. I'm going to show you a video that was taken from a forensic download of, I believe it's Christine Berry's phone, a forensic download by the Port St. Lucie Police Department. And it's a video from April 3rd, 2021, which is the same day that Calvin Berry was, his service was in Miami. So
Yes.
let me just, give me 1 second. Is that you dancing on the same day?
That was me. They were trying to cheer me up at that time.
Okay. May I take a 5-minute break, review my notes, and let you know if I have additional questioning?
Sure.
The time is now 3:53 p.m. This is the end of meeting unit number 4. We're about to go off the record. Please stand by.